What's up guys, SaneTree here and welcome back to Madstone. Last time we created this monstrosity behind me and it was really a miracle that this thing worked. It probably won't be like that this time because I really don't have any clue what I will be doing. Well, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. So what I want to do today is two-factor authorization. If you don't know, this is a safety measure that you basically have this app on your phone that gives you a code every 10 seconds or so, and upon logging into your account you have to type in your password and that code, so without having your mobile device you can't log into your account. So how it will work in Minecraft, or at least how I hope it will work, is we will have this redstone door of some sort, and on one side we will have the password log where you have to set, for example, items in item frames in a correct order, and on the other side we will have another input panel, and behind that the whole machine. And this machine is basically what I really want to do today. It will give us a random code. It will randomize it every set amount of time, then display it in some kind of a cryptic way. I have a cool idea how we could do that. And then obviously check if what we put on the input panel matches what it randomized. And only then, if the password on the left, for example left, is correct and the code on the right matches what was randomized, only then this door would open and we could enter the vault. So we will have to do a lot of randomization, comparator magic and stuff. I have no idea how it would even look like. So let's get on it and fail miserably. Who would have thought? Leaving accidental clocks behind, I think I have come up with the most important part, but the most important component for our machine. And I say I did come up, but in reality it was my dear friend MBQ who came up with not really the design but the idea itself. So thank you very much, because without this idea I would be stuck with this thing right here and probably never be able to make it work. So what is that thing? First let's come here. Here is the first component, the first part I designed, and it's a randomizer. There are some items here and a hopper here, and when there is a pulse a random item gets sent to this hopper. And it's very simple, but it has one flaw. We can only make two outputs out of it. We can put a stackable and a non-stackable item inside, and in this way this redstone here can have power 3 or power 1. So that was unfortunate because I need to have 8 outputs. So my first thought was to make some kind of bit computer machine thing, I don't know, whatever. Basically something that would encode our 8 and 3, 1 and zeros. Yeah, we would have 3 of this kind of randomizers. I put them stacked up on each other. And then we would need to have some kind of a converter that would check which torch or which redstone is powered and then set the correct number on the final output. So that would be extremely complicated, and fortunately there is this design right here. We have a dispenser that dispenses shulker boxes that have different amounts of items inside, and in this way we can easily create an output with a given signal strength. So this delay right here is made to allow the shulker box that is destroyed here to be brought back to this dispenser, so we can pick the same number 2 times one after the other. So when there is a pulse, our shulker box gets broken by this piston, then travels through these hoppers right here to this dropper, then via this line it gets powered, so it ends up in the dispenser and it can be dispensed again to this place. So that is our randomizer done, and it's a very good thing that it's very simple, because it will be a lot easier to put 4 of them together in one place. It's not the only thing I've done, however, because here we have a fully functional password component for our machine. How it works is I have 4 item frames down there, I take their output with a comparator and then I compare it with these outputs right here. I have 2 chests with a set amount of items, and one of them compares if the signal strength coming from the item frame is higher, and one of them if the signal is weaker. And in this way, this redstone dust right here gets unpowered only when the item frame right there outputs correct signal strength. So I have my password here stored in my ender chest. It is 1725 at the moment, but obviously we can change it however we want. So all the numbers here are correct apart from this one, which is now 8. So if I flip the Zenrod right here in this position to this position rather, our door opens, and that is our password part working really well indeed. So now it's time to construct the more interesting locking mechanism. All of the randomizers are now in place in this crazy jumble of redstone lines, and hopefully everything works as intended. So this is the big moment. Let's try it out, and I need a lever. Okay, something happened. And what happened? Okay, it seems to be all good. Did it all work? Wait, let me try it out. So the green one is 5, red one is 1, yellow is 3, and the green one again. So 5, 5, 1, 3, 5. Did I mess it up? Oh yeah, I totally did mess it up. Still doesn't work? Oh, because the last one needs to be like that as well. And now it opens, so it seems to be working. So let's send another pulse through, and it generated a new code, so the door is now closed. Okay, so I think the system works. The system works brilliantly, and it worked first try, so that is amazing. That is really awesome. It means that now we can start the work on the last part of the whole thing, which is obviously the display part, because now it generates a code, but we need a way to see it so we can enter it, because getting in the mechanism and looking at the color of the shulker boxes every time we want to enter the vault is not really the best way to do it. So here, from this comparator right here, there are additional lines going out from the whole thing, and they will lead to a part that will show us what color of the shulker box, what number the certain randomizer generated. And how I want to do it is with beacons. As you know, they can change color in Minecraft, so if we take 8 colors, assign a number to each one of them, we can display a number via a beacon. And it is a very clever system, I think, because for some other person that just happens to be in your base, the beacons just randomly change colors every set amount of time, and it means really nothing special. Also, even if they figure out that this is how the cipher to the vault is coded, they won't know what color corresponds to what number. So it is very, very tricky to figure out, and that is precisely what I want to do with this system. I want it to be very, very secure. So what we need to design is like a circuit that will check what signal strength is here and then send out a pulse through the correct line to the correct piston that extends a proper glass block over the beacon. I think it won't be that complicated, but every time I say it, something goes wrong. And this ginormous thing is our machine fully completed. And I think it's working. We'll test that in a moment, but first I want to show you what I've done. There were some problems along the way, but I've designed the final missing component and it works exactly as I mentioned. Here I have a prototype of it built. So the input comes here to that redstone, and here there is a certain signal strength and it travels through this line here. So what all this does is check if a certain redstone has a signal strength of 1. There will obviously be only one redstone dust with that signal strength, so by judging how far this from this input point right here, it sends out a signal corresponding to the signal strength here. So I think that's a pretty clever way of doing that. We can see it right here. For example, now, oh, and it just changed, but now the signal strength is 7, I think. Yeah, it's 7. So the signal goes to that point, and this comparator system right here, this circuit right here, detects that this signal strength on the input is 1 and sends out a signal through the blue line to our beacon. So now we have two books in our ender chest. One is the password book and the other one is the decryption key. So the password is still the same, 1, 7, 2 and 5, but our door is still locked because now we need to unlock the second mechanism. So in the decryption key there are two keys. In fact, one is which block from these on the left corresponds to which direction, because looking at our beacons we need to know on which item frame we need to set what number. So here we are looking west, and west is the red block, then south is the purple one, etc, etc. And the colors are corresponding to the numbers in the same way the shulker box in our system do. So red is 1, orange is 2, yellow 3, lime 4, green 5, cyan is 6, blue is 7 and purple is 8. So now we need to look at the colors of the beacons and then set the proper number on the correct item frame. So I think we should wait until the next code. It obviously runs on a clock. It's a simple ether hopper clock which generates a pulse every 30 seconds or so. I don't know, there are 2 stacks of items put inside the hoppers. Okay, so we can hear it resetting, and now all the beacons should change colors. So the first one is 2, the second one is 5, the third one is 4, and the last one is 3. And our door should unlock unless I did something wrong. Something is definitely not working here. And I wonder what that is. Because I tested this system and it should be working. It is the same thing that is on the other side, slightly remodeled, but it should be all good. Was it the password that was wrong? Wait. 1725. So no, that's all correct, I think. So let's try again. Now we have cyan right there. So cyan was 6. No, that's 7. 6 is this way. Then it's green. So 5. 5 again. And 5 again. And we can look up here. And this system shut off. That means that this is now unlocked. So there is something wrong with the password. Oh wow. What did I do wrong here? That is off, that is off. So what is powering this line here? It's that torch. Because the white line here is powered. And why are you powered? May I ask? Okay, so I think I have fixed it now. I don't know why it was wrong. Especially so it worked before. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I typed the wrong number into this book, but really whatever. So now we can properly test the second locking mechanism. So here we have 2, here we have 1, here we have 2 again, and the last one is 5. So it was correct, and the door opened. So our machine is working a charm, a treat, or many other adjectives or whatever it is I can give it to that. And our password reset now. Our code here reset, so the door closed behind us. So everything is working just like I wanted it to work. So that is a spectacular success, I think. Even though this is absolutely huge. But many of it is just the same thing copied 4 times, because that's what we needed this machine to be. So yeah, I think this really turned out great, and not only it did work more or less first try, but also is pretty cool. Pretty cool, I think. So yeah, that is all I have for today's episode. So if you enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like, and if you want to see more of this kind of crazy redstone mechanisms, then feel free as well to subscribe to my channel. And remember, there is no such thing as bad creativity. See you next time!